So instead of trying to strategize and figure out, well, what is it going to take for me to absorb that cost overall? People just spend their energy complaining online and boycotting and making signs and making AI images and all that stuff. And I think it's just nonsense. And tomorrow is the dreaded day that everyone's been talking about. eBay is increasing the promoted or changing the promoted listing policy. A lot of chatter. Most people have heard about it. If you haven't, probably haven't been on the internet or have not been paying attention, which is not always a bad thing. But if it's your business, you should pay attention. But tomorrow is the day that eBay is changing the promoted listing policy to what they've already done in other countries, and now they're bringing it to the U.S. and Canada, is that if someone clicks on your promoted listing, just the gist of it, I'm not going to read the whole policy. You can go read it for yourself. You should have an email for your seller. Go to the website, read it. If someone clicks on your promoted listing, whether they buy it or not, if someone else buys it, even if they don't see it promoted, if they see it organically, you'll be charged a promoted listing fee for that. They've already had the halo effect. Like if someone clicked on a promoted listing, they didn't buy that, but they went into your store and then they found something organically through your store that wasn't promoted, you got attached to promoted listing fee. So they've already had some things they've changed. They've been kind of going this direction for a while. But a lot of uproar, a lot of picket signs, pitchforks, fires, complaining, crying, squealing about this. A lot of people saying they're going to boycott promoting their items, period. So why do I say that this is a good thing? Personally, I think anytime a business shifts, I think it separates the people who are actually running a business versus people who are just selling things or just amateurs or just doing things that aren't basically not running a real business at the end of the day, because this happens pretty much in every aspect of every business, which I always find funny. Resellers just, they complain about things that would be just normal cost of doing business anywhere else, right? So marketing, most companies have a marketing spend, a marketing budget for marketing dollars. eBay sellers or resellers, they don't even think about that, right? Even though eBay, Poshmark, Depop have built these platforms, bring the customer to us, they do all the marketing, they have marketing budgets, but we kind of cry and kick our feet, throw a little fit like a 4-year-old when that changes and all of a sudden we have to spend marketing dollars in a way for ourselves, right? So to me, I think it separates the people that are going to eventually probably quit or not get any sales, because that's just what's going to happen. eBay isn't going to make this change to give you the same amount of sales you've been getting your entire career or the last few years. It's just not going to happen. They're not dumb. They're not doing this to, give you more sales or whatever. They're not going to roll this back. So you can kick a cry and boycott. They're not going to roll it back. They've tested in other countries and they're now rolling it out to the biggest market. So at the end of the day, this isn't going to be rolled back. So I think it's a good thing that we're going to see that change. Do I want to pay more in promoted listings? Personally, no, I don't. So it's not a good thing in that way, but it is just what it is. It's like the postal rates going up next month and in 6 months again, and then at holidays again. So it's just the cost of doing business everywhere, right? So you see a lot of these companies, when gas went up and they have shipments, that cost went up because fuel was higher. Employee costs have gone up. Pretty much everything has gone up for companies, and then so they increase prices, they increase all kinds of things that they need to run the business. So to me, it's just the cost of doing business. It's going to put some people out of business because their margins are probably too small to handle the postal increase as well as shipping promoted listings. I think you could not promote your listings and probably still be fine and run a successful business, depending on what size of business you want and how much money you want to bring in. But at the end of the day, it's just a cost of business. And I think people who spend their energy, spend their time complaining about it versus strategizing on how they're going to run their business with this change and make their business more efficient, make it to where they can absorb this, or at the very least how they're going to absorb it. What does that look like? Was there other costs that can cut? Are there do you need to add one more item a day to try to get up to one more item sold a day to kind of absorb that? So instead of trying to strategize and figure out, well, what is it going to take for me to to absorb that cost overall. People just spend their energy complaining online and boycotting and making signs and making AI images and all that stuff. And I think it's just nonsense. And to each their own. You can spend your time doing that. I think it's a colossal waste of time. But again, you're free, live in a free country, do whatever you want. I just think it's poor business. But usually people who do that don't run the best business in the world anyway. So that's just my opinion. Come for me. I don't really care. I'm just gonna be honest on what I think. So I think it's great. I think what you should be doing with your time is I think you should be looking at how it's going to impact your business, what your margins are. If you don't know your numbers already, you should know your numbers for sure. Find out what it's going to look like to absorb that, or how you can make up that cost. Or if you can't absorb it or make it up, how does that impact you long term? And can you just take that hit and now you're just going to make that much less money? Are you going to be able to afford that? So I think that's the best use of your time, is just strategizing, trying to figure out what does that look like for you, your business. Do you need to go get 2 more things a day, 5 more things a day, 10 more things a week? Do you need to adjust pricing? Do you need to look at all your costs that's in your business, whether it be supplies, whatever that may be, and cut somewhere and cut those down so you can make up for that? I think that's what every reseller in their business should be doing today. So I hope that you get through this change. At the end of the day, we're not going to know probably the exact cost of what that's going to look like. Give it 30 days, see what that cost is going to be, make those changes, adjust, pivot, do everything you need to do. That's just what we have to do, right? This business, it's going to keep changing. It's going to keep getting a little more expensive. We're going to have to work just as hard for a little bit less money, or harder for the same money. So I think at the end of the day, that's where I'm going to do, or we're going to spend in our time, and we're going to figure out what that looks like for us this year. We've already kind of figured that out, but we're just going to see what it actually looks like in reality, and then make just minor adjustments and tweaks and pivot if we need to, depending on what that looks like. And we're just going to keep going, or we're going to wake up tomorrow and we're going to do the same thing, and we're going to just keep doing what we're doing right now. It's worked for us for the last 5 years, and we've made a lot of changes in those 5 years. And at the end of the day, we're just going to keep doing the same thing. And I think the sun's going to rise tomorrow. We're going to keep doing the same thing, and we're just going to go from there. So I hope you guys are having a great day, and I hope you get through, or not really get through this time, but adjust through this time. Make the best changes for your business. Make the most efficient changes for your business, and I hope that it can actually grow through this. How great would that could be? So you can make a post and say that postage went up, eBay fees went up, or promoted listing fees went up, or I'm paying more in promoted listing fees, and I'm making more money than ever. I mean, what a great video, what a great post that would be, to say even through all that, I'm making more money than I did in the previous year. So I hope everyone can post that in a year from now, or 6 months from now. And I hope you guys have a great week and the rest of your day.